So, what is the biggest mistake CMOs are making when they're buying brand new AI solutions? This is a fantastic question because at Incubeta we don't verticalize, so we get to meet and work with CMOs from virtually every industry. So whether it be fintech, financial services, automotive, e-commerce, retail, the whole lot. And what's amazing is that the CMOs tend to actually kind of make similar mistakes, not in the same order, but there's certainly patterns. I find that organizations that don't have a unified data structure and a good understanding of their knowledge base that can really power these AI solutions, they're the ones that try these point solutions and then it fails. They're trying these shiny objects. They're saying, whoa, I can get this thing to make my creative 10 times faster. I must buy it now. Okay, that sounds great. But actually what you really want it to do is that you don't want it to build creative really, really fast. You want it to build the right creative. You want it to build the creative in the tone of the organization. And the only way it's going to do that is by understanding, what have you done previously? What's been successful? What's been unsuccessful? The unsuccessful data points are just as important as anything else. We find that CMOs who really kind of go after shiny objects and kind of point solutions, they're the ones that tend to give up on AI. The ones that sit back and actually have a look at their organization, have a look at their teams, find out what are the actual business challenges that their individual teams within the marketing organization are struggling with right now, and how can AI bridge, provide a solution to those. That's the kind of story and the conversation that we have. So when we sit down with a CMO who's saying, oh, I saw Google release this particular product, I'm interested, can you talk to me about that? Yes, of course we can. However, let's take one step back and identify, well, why have you identified that solution as a potential thing for your business? What problem is it solving? What other problems do you have within the organization? What other inefficiencies do we think different AI solutions can solve for that? Because the point solution might be able to solve one thing, but there might be something else over here which you don't know about because you didn't see the podcast or whatever it was that you watched that made you understand about this point solution. This might be able to do it better. And so it's the biggest issue we have is explaining that to CMOs and saying there's a time difference to this as well, because to do this right, you have to take 3 steps back to go 4 steps forward. And when CMOs come to us and they say, well, I want this and I want it today, yes, you could do that, but they're the most unsuccessful ones. What we want to do is we want to understand all of the business challenges that they have. And it doesn't even need to actually just live in marketing, because some of these solutions are going to actually expand across different parts of their business. The CMO is the right person to start with, but when we have that conversation, it should really go across the entire C-suite, to be completely honest with you. So I think, to answer your question, what are the problems, or what do we see as the biggest mistakes CMOs make? It's not arming themselves with all of the business problems that they have today, and then having a conversation around what AI solutions could I build or buy that's going to solve everything today, but also what are the problems in the future? How can I invest in the future now so that we're not coming back every 3 months thinking of something else?